Hello and welcome. My name is Greg Michaels. I'm with K-12 Education Matters, and we're here with Dr. Richard Gentry, nationally known authority on spelling and other things. And I just wanted to ask him to come with us for a few minutes before his general session this afternoon to speak about what he's up to now, because I know, as I said, he's been known for spelling for a long time. My first Richard Gentry book was Spell as a Four-Letter Word, published by Scholastic a long time ago. But now he's involved with what I would call very early literacy. And so I just wanted to ask him, what's up with that? I mean, why is it important for parents? Why is it important for educators? I know there's a solid research base behind it, or he wouldn't be involved with it. So I want him to also go over the five phases of literacy development. So Richard, if you could share us with a couple minutes that we have, that'd be great. Thanks.
Oh, Greg, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's really interesting. The 5 phases of beginning reading work that I've done over 30 years led to something that was a little bit unusual. About 5 years ago, I had a call from a literary agent in New York City asking me if I would apply those 5 phases to preschool reading. And what I found out, Greg, was that I had an academic blind spot. I have a PhD in reading education, for 16 years directed a reading center, but I didn't really know anything about 2- and 3-year-old readers. I really had to go back and look for research, and what I found was there is an academic blind spot. There are not very many studies on 2- and 3-year-old readers, so I had to go to the experts, and that would be the parents who are having success teaching children to read informally. Very different from formal instruction. The baby brain, very different from the 6-year-old brain.
Yeah, I noticed that your new book is actually directed towards parents, although I think it's important for educators to read also.
Absolutely. Parents and preschool and kindergarten teachers. It's a perfect book for kindergarten teachers, by the way. It's called Raising Confident Readers, How to Teach Your Child to Read and Write from Baby to Age 7. And what I found was that baby toddler reading is all about bonding. In some ways, the reading is a side benefit. It's we've had these reading wars, and people have debated whether phonics comes first or meaning comes first. But the truth is that feelings come first.
Right.
And those parents who talk with their children and read aloud and introduce them to happy, easy books. Right.
Well, that's that bonding thing. I think that those of us that can go back to the big book phase will remember Holdaway's research, and it was very big. That's how those things were spawned, was that as a result of children reading in a parent's lap and having the parent follow along with the words with their finger. Well, that's how they converted that to classroom use. So bonding is important. I agree.
It's exactly how it works. Very, very much so. So you want to take a look at those 5 phases? Here we have phase 0. It's wavy writing or scribbling, loopy writing. It's the phase that happens before a child can write his name. But Greg, the interesting thing is that this can happen between birth and age 3, or we can wait until children get to kindergarten. 43% of kids in America come to kindergarten who cannot write their name. They're in phase 0 and they're already behind. And that's why I think this baby toddler reading effort and getting parents engaged and parents involved with early reading is so important to every teacher.
I need to mention to our audience very quickly that if these illustrations are not visible in the video, I'll be reproducing them in a larger format. So
okay, we can put them at the end, maybe.
Absolutely, sure.
This is phase 1. The child can write his or her name, but here she's drawn a picture and she's written a flock of butterflies. You certainly couldn't read it. It's just random letters. It's a phase where kids know that writing involves letters, but they don't know how letters work with sounds.
Do we still call that invented spelling?
It's invented spelling, and these are really phases of invented spelling. But what we found with invented spelling, there are also phases of beginning writing and beginning word reading. So those word reading works in these same phases. This is phase 2. Often we see this at the end of kindergarten. And can you read that? Look at
Humpty
the
Dump-
picture.
yeah,
Humpty Dumpty.
yes,
There you
yeah.
go. For the you can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
it's
a reader. How
Yeah.
about that?
For the first time, the child is beginning to get beginning
Yeah.
and prominent sounds.
sure.
You can read that. It's partial phonemic awareness. Then they move to a phase where they're doing virtually a letter for every sound. It's full phonemic awareness. And even without the picture, you could read this. It says, "Tooth Fairy, one night I was in my bed and the Tooth Fairy came."
Right.
But the problem is that English doesn't work a letter for a sound. English works in chunks. So ultimately, what kids have to do is move to phase 4. And here we have a sample. You can see in this sample, this first grader can spell many words correctly. I'll read it for you. My feet are flesh. I wear size 3. My feet take me everywhere. My feet like to climb trees and buildings. I walk to school. My feet make me swim in water. My feet are tired at the end of the day. But lots of the words like my and foot spell correctly, but when he invents a spelling like everywhere, he invents it in chunks. Every. He knows air, maybe from airplane, puts the WH in front of it. And this is kind of end of first grade, and it's at this point when children can recognize automatically over 100 words that they, the automatic processing for reading can kick in, and they move into reading, their brains reading a lot like yours and mine. So it's really fascinating, this whole world of beginning reading, and I think so powerful to look at how it progresses over time.
It's really interesting. You're a researcher, staff developer, author, writer. I mean, I'm very grateful that you were able to spend a few minutes with us before, because if I were in your spot, I'd be real nervous with a general session about to come up, but I guess you do this all the time, so I'm very grateful and pleased that you could join us. Hey, thanks, Richard. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, take care.